video. Alright, so Miss Willow's going to tell you about wealth. Because she knows all about it, don't you, Miss Willow? So I like to hoard chew bones and treats. So I know all about being wealthy. Being wealthy is not about hoarding stuff, Miss Willow. It's about saving it and investing it in assets. So how are you going to multiply your treats? Do you know? How are you going to multiply your treats? Okay, let me put you down so I can do this. Hello, and welcome back to Women for Wealth. So today I want to talk about the things that I recommend you do if you're 40. So as I sit here today, I'm 47, and I've already done a lot of these things, but I want to share my ideas with you. So the first thing you need to do if you're a woman over 40 is you need to pay off debt. You need to have no debt except your house. You heard Miss Willow say yes. And there are a couple of ways to pay off debt. So we'll link a video somewhere below or above or somewhere about the debt snowball and the debt avalanche. Those are two methods that you can use, what they are and what the difference is. And it doesn't matter which one you use. Pick a strategy and implement it. Tackle your debt systematically. As you pay off debt, you free up income. You free up money that you can then use to invest in assets. Invest in things that are going to get you wealthy. So item number 2, live below your means. So you want what's called margin. You want a gap between what you make and what you spend. That's your margin. That's the variable difference. So you want that margin. You want to make more than you spend each and every month. And then you want to take that margin and you want to invest it in assets. So how do you create margin? You live below your means. So you don't fall into the trap of lifestyle inflation. Lifestyle inflation is when you get a raise or a bonus at work, you immediately go out and buy whatever flashy thing it is that you've been wanting. So if you get a nice raise at work or a promotion, you celebrate by going and buying the new car. Try not to do that. I know it's tempting. I know that's what society does. But live your life by your own standards. Live your life the way you want to. Instead, consider celebrating your promotion by saying, you know what? That margin increase that I've got, I'm instead going to invest more. I'm going to invest in my future self, and I'm going to invest in your family and your loved ones, your kids. You know, you're going to make a difference in your family tree because you're going to take that money and instead of splurging, you're going to invest in something that's going to grow. Remember, it's okay to look broke while you're building wealth. Be broke, not poor. And there's another video, hopefully the editor will link it somewhere below or above, about being broke, not poor. And it's okay to be broke. Broke is a strategy to live where you live for yourself and you live for your future self. You don't live to keep up with the Joneses or the neighbors or society or cultural expectations. You live your life and you live for your future and your future self. Set financial goals and track progress. So if you want to build wealth, you need a plan. You need a written plan, something that you can execute. Hopefully you can automate and you just sit back on autopilot. One of the best things you can do for your wealth is create that margin and have that margin automatically go to buying mutual funds or buying whatever, or investing in whatever assets you choose that you want to do. You know, that's what you need to use it for. And you need to, save money, but don't just sit it in a savings account. High yield savings account were great for a long time. As the interest rate goes down, that's starting to wax a little bit, and it's not as beneficial. So one of the things I'm looking at is where else can I take that money, sit it where it's secure, it can grow at a higher rate, but if I need it, I can still access it. So you need an established emergency fund. We've talked many times on this channel about Murphy's Law. If it can go wrong, it will go wrong. And I like to joke that Murphy likes to move into my spare bedroom from time to time. One of the things you'll hear, and my great grandmother used to say, bad things happen in threes. And it's true. So it's not just going to be one thing that's going to happen to you. Typically, according to my great grandma, it's going to be three things. So be prepared, be ready. Have an established emergency fund. I say $1,000 if you're 15 and it's your first job and you're working until your 20s. And then in your 20s, you need 3 to 6 months equivalent. And then once you get married and you have kids, especially, you need 6 to 9 months of equivalent spending in an emergency savings account. Why do I say 6 to 9 months once you're married and have kids? Because let's be honest, kids are expensive, and you don't want to be like me and my husband. When our kids needed braces, we have 4 kids, and braces seem to not happen, just one-offs. 2 kids need braces at the same time. I don't know how that happens, but it did. So we at the time had not done all of this financial research and learning. We didn't have an emergency savings account above $1,000. So when the braces hit, the $1,000 wasn't going to cover braces for 2 kids. My husband actually had to take a part-time second job as a pizza delivery person to be able to afford to pay for the kids' braces. Now, I am so proud of him that he stepped up and he took a second job and he delivered pizzas to make sure the family was taken care of. But that's not an ideal situation. And thankfully, we're at a point in our lives where he'll never have to do that again. So I hope that you're able to put a plan in place, manage your money, get an emergency savings account to where you never have to work a second job delivering pizzas. Number 5, if you're over 40, you ought to max out your retirement contributions. If you have a company that has a 401k match, you absolutely need to be getting 100% of that benefit. So whatever their match is, my company, we match up to, I think it's 3%. So if you invest 3% in your 401k, we're going to match 3%. So you're going to put actually a total of 6% in your 401k. I think that's huge. I'm a small company. We don't have a ton of, we're not a large corporation. We're not making millions or billions of dollars every year. We're small. We're very cash flow driven still. So for me to be able to offer that benefit to my employees, I think is great. I think it's important to me. I think it's a benefit. And I tell all of my employees, please max out your 401k contribution. It's basically free money from the company. It's like giving yourself a promotion without having to earn it. It's just something that I, as an employer, give to my employees because I want to invest in their future and help them to have, a wealthy life when they retire. So there's a lot of tax advantages that come with accounts such as the 401k and the Roth IRA. Look into it, research, figure out what's best for you. It's going to grow. It's going to give you money that's set aside for your retirement that's tax-free. So, make sure you max out your retirement contributions. The next thing I want you to consider if you're over 40, create multiple streams of income. Now, this is something that if you're 20 or you're 30 or you're 40 or you're 50 or you're 60 or you're 70 or you're 80, it doesn't matter what age. Today relying on just one income is not going to cut it. It's too risky to be a single family income, number 1. And number 2, you need to also diversify your income like you diversify your portfolio. So you need to have multiple income streams because you never know what's going to happen. Again, Murphy's Law, Murphy likes to hold up in my spare bedroom sometimes. Make your money work for you and earn as much as you can. You're going to be capped in your role at whatever job you're at. There's going to be a pay band that's got a cap. So you can work up to the cap of that pay band, and then you're not going to get any more base increase. So how do you get around that? Well, if you can't get promoted because you've added additional credentials or you've learned additional skill sets and you're stuck where you're at, you need to add multiple streams of income. So what do I mean multiple streams of income? This can be a side hustle, freelancing, investing in real estate, REITs or something now that you can invest in to where you're not having to be the property manager directly. Any passive income through dividends and interest. Don't look for the quick rich schemes, because they are schemes. They'll get rich with your money, but you're not going to get rich with these schemes. So look at smart gigs, smart side hustles, smart things that you can do, freelancing that you can do, as well as smart investments. Diversify your income and get control over your financial future. The next thing I recommend if you're over 40 is focusing on your health and wellness. Because let's be honest, health is a valuable tool and an asset. Being healthy is going to be required for you to be able to have a wealthy life. So you need to be healthy. Medical bills can wipe out savings in a hurry. I hope you have good insurance. I hope you're with an employer that offers a good health benefit plan. If not, you need to be prepared. Invest in yourself, your physical, mental, and emotional well-being. And health is really a 3-prong attack. So it's physical, lose a couple pounds, walk a little bit more. Mental, if you need to speak to a counselor or a therapist, or like me, I garden. Gardening is my therapy. I literally ground myself by putting my hands in the soil and planting plants. And the 3rd prong is your emotional well-being. So are you emotionally healthy? Do you feel good about life? Do you have a positive outlook? All of these things are important, and you need to be prepared for the next phase of life by investing in yourself and your health now. Seek help when you need it. Go to the doctor, get a physical, get a baseline physical. We're going to be doing that later this week. Invest in your health, because if you're not healthy and you end up later in life having a ton of medical bills, that is going to erode your wealth, and you don't want to do that. And the final thing, number 8, is seek financial education, such as watching this video. Now, I try to do my best to come up with a topic, research it, take notes so I don't miss anything that I want to communicate. I try to educate you as best I can, but I've said it before and I'll say it again. I am not a financial advisor. I'm not a wealth manager. I'm not a CPA. I'm an electrical engineer. I can build the power grid. I can get power to your home. I'm good at that. That's my expertise. All the rest of this I've learned, and I want to share this for free with you. I want to share what I've learned. Learn from my mistakes, learn from my education. Until the next one, I wish you health and wealth.